And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, commercial lending, business loans, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our Consumer Advocate hotline. You can call or text that line. Also, website, consumerqb.com, a plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. Their contact information is right there. And we want you reaching out. We want to be your super connector to connect you with all of our expert contributors that can help you in all these different areas. You know, we have attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of home services on the show, marketing experts, health services as well. And we want to help. That's our goal. All right, we got Intelligent Talk Radio, some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Kelly Oliver back in studio. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be here today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for coming in and bringing all this great knowledge to our business owners out there on 1380 The Biz. You got the show on the weekend on FM 1025 The Bone as well. So a lot of business owners in our listening area. And big news is we just added Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku, 85 other outlets that we just added to our already expansive reach here with the Consumer Quarterback Show.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I hadn't heard that yet.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Really exciting stuff. Thank you
we
very
all
much.
get to share in that, too.
That's right. It's just adding more value. How can we, help everybody grow? So that's excellent stuff. We also have Joseph Warren in studio, CoCreativ. Welcome in, sir.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me here. Today, I want to talk all things about showing up in people's lives, showing up in the lives of your clients, and just being present in the opportunity to serve them and
Nice.
what that experience is like.
I like that. Yeah, I heard a good quote that you just reminded me of when you said that. I think it was Jim Rohn. He says, when you're looking for, no, it's Dave Ramsey. He says, when you're looking for a salesperson, no matter, or when you're dealing with money, I think it was, insurance, mortgage, real estate, he says, look for a salesman with the heart of a servant, not the heart of a salesperson. You just reminded me of that when you said the serve word. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, so some good lineup for you, great lineup for you here on the show. And we have our feel-good segment coming up as well. Teacher spots child riding his bike on the highway, helps him save his father. So interesting story there in our feel-good segment coming at you soon. 207 Coronado Drive is a hot property listing that we've got over on Clearwater Beach, the number one beach in the world, 207 Coronado Drive. It's a commercial asset. It's $3.5 million. Just a great opportunity for a business owner, a savvy developer, business person looking to build on the number one beach in the world, close to Pier 60. You've got the Wyndham Grand right across the street, the Hyatt, and lots of high-end restaurants and buildings. So a great opportunity right there for development on Clearwater Beach, 207 Coronado Drive, $3.5 million property listing of mine, and Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty now. 7424 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. This is another commercial asset. It's a gas station, corner lot. You got a mini mart. You got 3 service bays as well. One of the busiest streets in Tampa Bay is 4th Street North. So a couple of hot property listings here in the best Tri-City area in the United States of America. And this segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant. It's our restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Lucky Dill. They've got a deli, they've got the New York City bar, Brooklyn Bakery, catering, banquets, and it's home of the Sandwich That Ate Brooklyn. They've got a location in Palm Harbor on US 19. They've got a Boy Scout location right across from the International Plaza Mall, 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, LuckyDillDeli.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Kelly Oliver in the house, Business Loan Solutions, helping people understand more about those options that they have, and there are a lot of options out there. The economy's doing well. Unemployment's at one of its lowest rates in history, and hey, it's a great time to get into the game.
Isn't it? And so many people are just still nervous about the economy and where it's going, and everyone's prepping for the downturn that's coming. And I think a little bit of that is self-fulfilling, because what I'm seeing happening is strong, solid growth.
That's right.
That even there may be we may have to have a few downturns, but the strength of the economy and the way that it's growing,
right,
it will outlive that downturn. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. So since we've got this strong stuff, and new businesses are calling, I'm getting 3 to 5 phone calls a day.
Wow.
About new businesses who want to do a startup something. They want to be entrepreneurs. How do I do this? Or a business that's existing that's saying, I have new products, I have new expansion plans, or they're saying, I am in an acquisition mode, right? So they're strong in their position. They maybe have an infusion of cash that's come to them, and now they're looking to go out and acquire businesses. So This is a very exciting time about what's happening and what's coming. And if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on being in business, now's the time to do that, because when we have so much cash available in the market, that you will be a prime candidate for a buyout, right? So an acquisition strategy. So you might be able to get in and get out in a pretty quick period of time. And when I say quick, could be less than 2 years in what you're doing. So it depends on what you're doing, it depends on your product, depends on,
So you're talking to a business owner that says, hey, I'm ready to be acquired now.
Yeah.
I've been self-employed my whole life. I built up this deli, this liquor store. I built up this business. I've got my books in order. I've kept really clean books and records. And I'm at the point, Kelly, where, hey, I want to sell my business.
And there's a couple of ways that you can do that too. So yes, you could set it up and say, I want to sell my business as is. You may have perfected a process in your business that you now say, ooh, I want to take this and I want to franchise this. And I want to make it so that I can put one in every major city, or, just however you want to do that franchise. And then, so that just turns your business up to the next level.
Yeah, I like that. Franchise, and you also have a licensing option, just depending on what's best for you. Have your attorneys check that out. I know when we looked at our book deal, the book I wrote in the business with Ken Shamrock and Des Woodruff, I looked at that and they said, well, this might be better as a licensing, because if franchise, it kind of opens you up to more stricter guidelines and those types of things. But there's more opportunity for that person to come back on you. But so each business is going to have its own set of criteria, guidelines, best practices, so to speak.
Yep.
But yeah, it's an interesting. So you're helping out almost. Are you acting as a business broker in a sense as well? Are you helping people with that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can help with the business brokerage. We can help do business consulting if someone's not sure about how to structure the business or what that looks like.
Okay.
And then we can work with them to get funds into their business. And then, on the debt side is that if I want to buy equipment, or I want to buy some, I think it was Shark Tank. They always say never go into debt to go into business, right? That is a number one rule of thumb. You don't want to go into debt. So now you're going to say, well, I don't have the cash. How can I do that? Well, that's when you start partnering with other people.
Right.
And you partner with other wildly successful people.
That's right.
And together, those partnerships create extra energy because everybody's bringing something new and different to the table.
That's right.
So then what gets to get created is this much more powerful, rather than trying to do it on my own, because I know entrepreneurs, we all love to do stuff on our own by ourselves. I don't want to share it with anybody.
That's right. I want all my commission. I want to be 100% commission.
Yeah, but that greedy side
Yep.
will be the very thing that's keeping you from moving forward.
That's right.
That when you start having some conversations with people, you get out, connecting with them, you say, listen, I've got an opportunity. I'm so excited about what I'm doing. I'd love for you to be a part of it. How can you be a part of what it is that we're doing?
That's right.
Listen, even Adam Sandler goes out, and when he creates his movies, he shares it with everybody he knows and says, I don't know what your part is going to be, but you're going to be in my movie.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know in advance. And
That's
everybody's like,
interesting.
what am I going to do? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know. Like, Just
That's
trust
funny.
me, right? Trust
Yeah.
me, you're going to be in the movie.
I like that.
You know, it's like that.
Yeah, he's what a interesting. I love his new comedy special as well on Netflix. I think I saw it or Prime.
Yeah.
But that one actually hit home with me because in the beginning of my real estate career, I was like, oh, I'm going to have 100% of my money. I'm going to try to do my own thing. But when you start recreating the will that's already been created,
Yes.
rather than modeling an expert and just teaming up with that expert in certain situations, it's going to be more applicable. Just kind of mentioning what we just did with Platinum MVP team now at Keller Williams Realty. So we joined this bigger brand, billion-dollar company.
Yes.
And now you have all these resources that you can't recreate on your own.
Absolutely. And all of a sudden, it catapults your level of play to the next step.
That's
the
right.
next level.
That's right.
And then when you're playing at that level and you get comfortable there, then you grow up and move up to the next level. And those levels, those steps don't have to take a long time to get there.
Right.
They can go really, really quick. It's just your openness and willingness to make all that happen.
I love it. I love it. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Kelly Oliver in the house, Business Loan Solutions, talking about new business, existing businesses, acquisitions, helping business owners prep for the sale. There's lots of ways that she can help you. Also coming up, Joseph Warren, CoCreativ. He's a podcaster. He's a published author as well. And we're going to hear more from him after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show and a top real estate agent in the United States, top 1% realtor in the U.S. We're helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. ConsumerQB.com. That's your number one resource, ConsumerQB.com. We're looking to bring on folks to our real estate team. If you're looking to get into the real estate space, or maybe you're already an existing realtor at another firm, we would love to talk to you about joining our team, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also for the radio show, TV show, we just really added a lot more value. We're growing now to Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku, 85 other outlets, Sony TV, and we are looking for business owners as well that might want to join us on air, managers, salespeople. If you have that consumer advocate approach to your business, then that would be something that we'd want to talk to you about to see if you qualify to be on air with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got a buyer-seller seminar coming up on February 28th, just around the corner here. February 28th, we've got a buyer-seller seminar, and it's a opportunity for you to learn from a panel of experts all you need to know about credit, mortgage, title, inspections, and more. Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Learn how to get 100% financing. We're going to have Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspections, going to be there talking about home inspections. We're going to have William Crowley, the credit magician, as well. Going to be in studio, of course, helping you with your credit improvement. Erin Foley, she's a buyer specialist with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And it's a buyer-seller seminar sponsored by Total Title Solutions. Going to be at Cox Media Group, 4th Street North in St. Petersburg, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. RSVP on eventbrite.com. It's a free event, but you do have to register. All right. This segment's brought to you by the Bill Maher Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bill Maher Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island, Florida. And it's filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation very, very special. They've got 2 pools on site. They've got the Sloppy Joe's restaurant. Just a great place to go hang out and enjoy a nice weekend away if you're a local staycation, or maybe out of state if you're a vacationer coming down. If you're planning a wedding, you're planning an event, a business trip, Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All you have to do is reach out, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a hot property in South Tampa. This one's down, kind of give you that sample of that 33611. This is 4613 South Matanzas Avenue. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath. You also have a half bath as well. This property is 3,300 square feet, and it's all about location. Spacious 4-bedroom bathroom, 4-bedroom property, 3.5 bath, and it's a quick walk over to Bayshore Boulevard to enjoy all that South Tampa has to offer. A great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 206 Mariner is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property. Furnished is an option. You can sell it furnished. It's a ground floor unit over in Tarpon Springs. 206 Mariner, great opportunity. Pool, beautiful property, conservation view, pond view as well, water view. Great properties here. Compliments of Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we're back here in studio. First segment, we heard from Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions. We're going to talk with her more as well coming up. We got Joseph Warren now. We're going to talk with Joseph Warren, talk about marketing, podcasting. He's got CoCreativ workspace solutions as well. And what you been up to, man?
Brandon, first off, that first segment was awesome with Kelly. And I can validate that you're right. The market is shifting. There's a lot of money floating around. I can tell you personally, with our co-working space, we're being courted right now by a couple of potential acquirers that are global co-working spaces, and they're in acquisition mode right now.
Nice.
And they're looking to buy up and then scale.
Nice.
So it's interesting. I'm not saying that we're going in that route, but it's interesting to be courted in that direction, for others to see the value in what you've built from ground zero, which is what we did 5 years ago when we brought co-working to Tampa Bay.
That's awesome.
So people see value in that.
That's right.
And that's kind of cool. So I just want to validate what you're saying is spot on. Today I want to speak about, the other business that I just started, which is the spiritual coaching business.
Okay.
And what it's like for all the coaches out there. Because I really didn't get what coaching was all about. I thought in order to be a good coach with my clients that I needed to fix their problems. And it turns out that I don't have all the answers. Like, who knew? right? But it's like when I put my ego aside and realize I don't have the answers to my clients' problems.
Right.
I didn't create their mess if they have mess. I wasn't there creating that. I don't know how to get them out of it half the time. And I realized I don't need to. And as I'm studying and learning more about coaching other people, I'm really getting that I don't have to. And that's what makes a good coach, is really showing up. And this is for your audience right now. If you're in the coaching space or you're not in the coaching space, and maybe you're in the office rental or you do what Kelly does, either way, you're still coaching your clients to move forward into winning in their life or in their business, right? We're all doing some form of coaching. So I think it's really important to really get, how do you help your clients win most? Is your job, is your role to fix their problems in their life? I don't think it is. And it's exhausting.
Emotionally draining, right?
It's emotionally draining. It's frustrating. Some days I'm on, some days I'm not. But if I always have to show up on because I am the solution guy that has to fix their problem that I didn't create, but they did, like, that's just a false expectation that is really not achievable and causes my own suffering.
Right.
So when I was able to step back from that and just look at, what am I here to do? And I think what I'm here to do is to get clear that they already have all the answers that they need within them. My job is to help them get to that feeling, or get back to that feeling of they're already whole. They're already complete. And just because they had some falls along the way, or they're tripped up, or they feel stuck or paralyzed, my job is just to shine that mirror back on them for them to see who they really are. And they already have the solutions to the problems that they've created. So therefore, I just have to point out some blind spots and say, hey, you probably don't see this. I do, because I'm not stuck in your mess.
Right.
And I have coaches that do that for me that aren't stuck in my mess, and that's why it works.
Perspective, right?
It's a different perspective. And I'm able to just point out certain things for them and to show up. And the way I'm able to do that is, and that's what I started the show with, to be 100% present for your client. Like right here in the moment with them. No agenda, no piece of paper, no. That doesn't mean like don't have like your 3 main guiding points or something like that.
Right.
But really just show up present, connected.
Right.
Real connection with another human being.
That's right.
And I think when you go there, the solutions just come up. It's kind of like what Kelly was saying earlier, is that when you have 2 or 3 people come together and you stop trying to do this solopreneur type way of doing business, that doesn't lead to anything good in the end.
Yeah. Synergy.
Right. And I like to coin and create the phrase, copreneur. Be a copreneur with others. That's why my company's called CoCreativ, right? And that's what I do. And hopefully in my spiritual coaching business, there's 3 involved there, right? It's me, it's you, my client, and then there's God, the one who created both of us.
Right.
He's got all the answers. I don't.
Right.
He made you whole and complete.
Right.
I just have to remind you of that.
Yeah. And sometimes you're backing people out of these habits that they get. People pick up habits. They pick up these notions of inadequacy. There's a lot of things that I imagine you see on a daily basis where you're correcting people. By the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. I'm the host of the show. We've got Joseph Warren, CoCreativ. He's also got a couple podcasts. He's out there. He's a published author and a spiritual coach. So what are those areas that you see? Are you noticing at this point? Are you noticing things that are popping up more than others?
Yeah, there's definitely patterns along the way. And what I see, if I had to break into 2 genders just for a high level, women struggle with feeling confident and powerful. And it's across the board.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So my job is to remind them of who they are and their own inner power.
Yep.
And give them permission. Sometimes all they need is someone to give them permission.
That's right.
To just show up
Yep.
and be powerful in their life. And then with men, it's vulnerability. That's the number one thing all dudes struggle with. They don't know how to get out of their head and into their heart. It's the most difficult journey in the universe, from the head to the heart. And all of us men struggle with it. Women struggle with it too, but men, it's just like so much more. And that's what I'm able to do with a lot of my clients are dudes, right? They're guys. And the biggest thing is getting them out of their ego. Where they think they have all the answers, even though parts of their life are clearly not working.
Right.
Like they're clearly not working. they still have reasons and excuses and justifications.
That's right.
Why they still want to do it this way, even
Yep.
though it's not working for them.
That's right.
So once I get past the ego and get them back to their heart, all of a sudden the solutions just start showing up, and they start getting really clear on what do they actually want
Yeah.
outside of money and greed and success and power.
Right.
Like, what do you actually want, dude?
Yeah. And I imagine it's kind of like Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about when he talked about the 4 archetypes. So if you have a certain, age group, I would, if it's a certain age group, they're going to be more stuck on that ego than somebody that may be in their 50s, 60s. They're going to be thinking less about ego. They're going to be thinking more about contribution and giving back.
I think the number for guys, and Kelly, I apologize, I'm speaking mostly of guys right here, but I'm a dude, right? So I connect with that. And once they cross 40 years old as a man, you start to get at least a little bit of the things that matter in life.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you start to reprioritize, and you may not know how to get there.
That's right.
And I think it's very important to bring on a coach like myself to give you that other perspective and help coach you through that journey.
Absolutely. What's the best website?
josephwarren.net. That's josephwarren.net.
Awesome. All right, stay with us right here. When we come back, more from our expert contributors in studio, and we also have our feel-good story of the day coming at you. Teacher spots child riding his bike on the highway, helps him save his father. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show and owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. And just did a Facebook Live last week with Ken Shamrock talking about the business, and that was interesting. We had some people fired up on there saying they're interested in looking at, growing their sphere of influence. So it's interesting, when you look at the ability to harness the power of the media, grow your sphere of influence, grow your celebrity. That's what we're teaching with our company that we launched called the Business Growth Celebrity Academy. So bgca.co, realize the celebrity in you. And the Business Growth Celebrity Academy helps you become a micro celebrity to grow your wealth, build personal brand, and increase your status. And anyone can become a micro celebrity. It's easy, and we'll teach you how. We got 35 videos that we actually coach you through that process. So real excited. Check out bgca.co. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win. And Brandon Rhymes, I'm a top agent with Keller Williams Realty in Clearwater. 109 18th Avenue South. It's in St. Petersburg. 8 bedrooms, 4 bath. Now, it's a unique setup here. We've got just a partially renovated property, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a detached mother-in-law, which includes 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, and a 3-car garage. The property offers a nice courtyard area in the backyard, and it's a solid built home that features hardwood flooring throughout. Just a nice opportunity here in St. Petersburg at $500,000, just above $500,000 price point. And we also have a South Tampa beauty here, 103 South Habana. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, $482,000. And this property is in the Plant High School District. Great opportunity, great location, south of Kennedy in South Tampa. And it's a great Airbnb investment opportunity for any investors out there. Check out consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving, and they strive to be one of the very best Tampa moving companies by exceeding your expectations, and they are among the highest reviewed as well. On Google, they hold a 4.6 rating, the highest in the Tampa Bay area. They have an A rating on the Better Business Bureau, A rating on Angie's List, and a 4.5 rating on Yelp. And they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Check out Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, back here in studio, we're going to help you win, and we got a great lineup today. Kelly Oliver in the house, Business Loan Solutions, Joseph Warren, CoCreativ Workspaces. He's also got his podcast out there, a couple different podcasts, a couple books floating around as well. So let's go. We're going back to Kelly now. So Kelly, back to the business loan side. So we're talking about business loans, helping business owners, and I agree with what you're saying about the economy. I think a lot of times when we talk about national numbers, the news, the headlines, they pull in these national, and sometimes they try to come up with some kind of scare tactic or something to have people alarmed. Mm-hmm. And there's the sensationalism that sells. So ultimately, here we are. We got, Trump enacted the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, I believe it was called, freed up a lot of capital, I think, and businesses are investing back now.
Yes.
And we're seeing some of the results of that.
We absolutely are. And it's so wonderful that you brought that up about the sensationalization in the media.
Correct.
Because they do thrive on fear.
That's right.
And when fear really isn't present, right, it's already fearful, but if they can feed on your fear, then they will cause you to take actions that you wouldn't normally have taken.
That's right.
Like selling a house for a property that you really love.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't normally do that, but if you have fearful that there's a downturn that's coming, and you think this is the peak of the market, you may take an action to sell something today that really, if you stopped and thought about it, you want to keep it in the family. Maybe it's a home on the beach, it's a family heirloom, and you'd rather put it in a family trust so that future generations can have that home and access to that home. So it all depends.
Yeah.
But so I was thinking about this on the way in. So it's really serendipitous that you're saying this. How do you know Like when the media is doing what the media is doing and they're saying what they're saying, you're reading something, you're watching it on TV, you're seeing the internet, you're seeing all these things. But how do you know what's really happening and what's really going on in the economy?
It's funny. It's funny that you say that. If you have a graph here, and if you're watching our TV show, I'm kind of drawing. You can't really see it, but you've got an axis on the left. You got an axis on the right. So if I were to say to you, Kelly, okay, the market's shifting. We're in the middle of a shift. There's more inventory. We're shifting from a buyer market to a seller market. And I were to say to you, okay, here's what we're doing. Tell me when the market's changed. All right. Tell me when the market's changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
See, so you can never know the bottom until it's going up.
That's right.
Right. So that's what's interesting about it. Reading Gary Keller book, Market Shift. So that's what you cannot predict the bottom.
And you don't need to. You don't need to know when the exact bottom is.
Exactly.
You just need to be reading the signs. Like
that's right.
A good sailor will read the winds to sail his boat.
Right.
So you want to do the same thing in the economy. Like so the way that you go about doing that is like everybody that you talk to, anybody that you do business with, your boots on the ground are the restaurants, the grocery stores, the real estate agents, like all the people that you have relationships with that you literally talk to every day. Ask them the question, how's business going for you?
Right.
And ask them in such a way that they're not just telling you the glossy overview, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. When really secretly, maybe they don't want to admit that there's a downturn of what's going on.
Yep.
But when you start taking the survey and you get the boots on the ground, because let's face it, by the time you get to the news is already 30 or 60 days old as far as the information is. Anything that's written in the paper may be 0 to 30 days. And stuff that you read on the internet is like, I don't trust anything that you see.
It's clickbait.
It is. It's a lot of fake news that's out there, and they're trying to sway groups into taking action to do things as well. So
that's right.
So really, the truth of it is, just like it's always been, is to find out from the people that you like, know, and trust what's happening and what's going on, and so you reach out and you find out things like I would have never known. If I didn't see Joseph today, I would have not known that he had somebody who was courting him and looking at his business.
Right.
Right. And so that now says, oh, yeah, that puts that in the tick. Yeah, there's even more going on than I think is really happening because I'm only seeing a piece of it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a lot boots on the ground because a lot of people are calling me for different reasons. So I can see trends in the market that are happening long before they ever start to happen.
Right.
Because people will start calling me in that rush of, I need cash today.
Right.
Right. If it's the I need cash today, I know the market is now starting to diminish. It's starting to go down.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So just for the everyday entrepreneur, go out there, be out there, talk to people, talk to them about your business, tell them what's going on in your business. Listen, everybody really wants to help you be successful.
That's right.
It's amazing that way.
Yeah.
So listen for what they have to say, and then you can contribute back. And as Joseph was talking about coaching and being in coaching, and everybody's doing coaching in the coaching business, there is this other half of the story, and that is about being coachable.
Right. Good point.
Right. So
absolutely.
If you are a solopreneur, I have all the answers. I know everything.
Right.
I will tell you, my gifts can't help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't hear what it is that I'm saying because you're not being open to it.
That's true.
Right.
Yep. We're talking with Kelly Oliver here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Business Loan Solutions. And another great point you made, Kelly, is when people ask those questions to you, especially here's a good one for real estate agents, right? People are always going to say, oh, how's the market?
Yeah.
A great question back would be, which market are you referring to? Single family homes, townhomes, St. Petersburg, Clearwater? Which ones are you more interested in?
Right.
What are you more interested? Now you're taking that prospective, person who's maybe just making small talk, but you're actually zeroing in a little bit more of an actual answer and taking it to maybe a potential deal.
Absolutely. Fantastic that you're pointing that out.
Yep.
Because when you ask, you could be asking not for yourself, but for your target audience, right? So if your target audience is middle America, their income is, $100,000 on an average, you might be asking questions about that group of people.
Right.
Because they're affected differently than people that make less or people that make more. Like there's the luxury market, right? So how is it going in the luxury market? If you're going after CEOs
right.
in your business, you may want to know how the luxury market is going. So you
Absolutely.
can get some answers back on that, so you can get a little more insight to what your clients are actually dealing with.
Yeah. And it could be, they may be asking for a friend or family member. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but that's great. So I love to ask people, how's business going? You've been busy lately.
Yeah.
I love to have that conversation. You never know how it's going to lead to potentially a next deal,
Yes.
a business relationship, maybe a radio show partner, TV show partner. There's a lot of ways that, just having that outgoing personality, I think, is a big part of it as well.
Mm-hmm. You can be introverted and still ask questions.
Yep.
I know you got questions in you if you're introverted.
Yeah.
You can still ask them. And it doesn't have to be the traditional mainstream questions, right? It doesn't have to be so how's the market going?
Yep. Yep.
It can be something like, oh, when was the last sale you sold a home that was $500,000? Right? Ask somebody to go back into their brain, think about their answer so that they can come up with a response rather than that generic, it's fine, everything's fine, sales are, flat. I've heard that a lot lately. Flat, sales are flat. Our sales are taking longer than they were expecting to. But that's good information. If I know that, I was talking to a friend of mine that's in Spring Hill. He's saying, listen, the housing market up there, it's taken 6 months to sell a home. If you put out your house on the market today, it's taken 6 months. Well, okay, if I know that it's going to take me 6 months to do that, I'm going to take actions in according with that. It doesn't make it a bad thing. It just makes it that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, and it depends on the price, too.
Depends on the price. And it's so if I want to price it to move faster than 6 months, I may already offer it at a 5% or 10% discount.
Yeah, and it depends on the brokerage that you choose and the tools and the marketing that they're going to have.
Everything is influential decisions about what you do. Absolutely true.
Yeah, and another one I like is who do you know that may be making a move next?
Yes.
That way, again, like you said, they've got to think in their mind, oh, wow, who just got married or who just got divorced or, all those different scenarios.
Absolutely.
All right, stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show. Teacher spots child riding his bike on the highway, helps him save his father. Our feel-good story coming up right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.com, and helping you win in any marketplace. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to Steve and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. They got an office on Gandy, another one in Carrollwood, right off of Bears, and they are offering these vitamin infusions. Basically, it's right into your bloodstream. It's going to go directly into your vital organs, your bloodstream. Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, restore, reinvigorate, and revive. So they've got all these different awesome formulas that they can help you with. And of course, they do have a hangover cure. You know, you see a lot of people after the hangover. I'm sure they were busy in January with the Gasparilla, right? So yeah, back here in studio, we want to help you win. I got a hot property in East County here, 5506 Dallas Way in Valrico. It's a River Hills Country Club. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square feet, one owner home that is sure to impress. It's got a pool, corner lot, and the owner has built this home to the highest of standards, and he is a commercial contractor himself, and it's a great property. $540,000, 5506 Dallas Way in Valrico, and a property in St. Petersburg as well, 1600 67th Avenue South in St. Petersburg. This is 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. Wedgwood Forest is the subdivision, $255,000. Got a 2-car garage that's been converted as well. Newer roof, no flood insurance. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And every day we're going to tell you something positive here, give you some positivity injection into your life in our Feel Good segment of the day.
Tell me something good.
Teacher spots child riding his bike on the highway and helps him save his father. So teachers create bonds with their students every day. This week, a teacher formed and her former student saved a life. Keller Sutherland, a first grade teacher at Ellen Woodside Elementary in South Carolina, was driving home last week when she noticed a child riding his bike down Highway 25 in Greenville. Her intuition told her something was wrong, so she turned around and planned to ask him where he was going. When Sutherland stepped out of her car to approach the boy, she immediately recognized him. "Oh my gosh, that's Cameron," she recalled. "That's my student. I had him last year." Cameron, 7, told Sutherland that his diabetic father, had collapsed at his house. She said he tried to call 911, but he didn't know how the passcode to his father's phone. He then tried the neighbors, but no one was home. His last resort was to ride his bike 5 miles to his grandmother's house. Emergency responders arrived at Cameron's home and found his father barely conscious on the floor. He was treated at the scene and has made a full recovery. Sutherland says, as a teacher, her job goes far beyond the classroom, and she truly cares about her kids. Yeah, that's something to think about. You know, do your kids have your passcode to your phone if something were to happen? You
can do a 911 dial on your phone without the passcode. You just have to know how to do that.
Yeah, you have to know the rules there.
Yeah.
Teach your kid.
Yeah, sometimes have just have a landline as a backup. That's what we do too, just in case something happens to cell phones. You got a landline there. But hey, feel good story of the day. Helped him save his father. That's awesome. That's a great teacher. Our teachers are definitely underpaid. They do a lot, and I know this week Governor DeSantis came out and had some new regulations, or he was trying to do something with the children or the students there at schools. I forgot exactly what that headline was.
Yeah, he's making a lot of changes.
Yeah,
he's really coming out strong and hard to make some good changes in Florida for sure.
That's good. Awesome. All right. So Kelly Oliver in studio, Business Loan Solutions. Joseph Warren, CoCreativ, and he's a spiritual coach here as well. So what else you seeing out there, Joseph?
I really like what Kelly said earlier, and I'm going to paraphrase it if that's okay.
You go right ahead.
I think some of the best advice I could give that I see showing up with the entrepreneurial clients that I work with. So I work with very successful Christian business owners and CEOs. And they've done really well with the money side, building their empire. And the advice that I'd like to give and contribute is that get real about what's real. And what I mean by that is so often I have to get through their ego about what's actually happening. And you alluded to this, Kelly, earlier, is like, you got to look at like what's real versus what you're believing out there is real, but it's actually not real. What's going on in your business, what's going on in your home life right now, but you're pretending everything's fine, but things are falling down around you possibly. And I'll give you an example. I have one coaching client just recently, and his business has taken a nosedive. And he was pretending that he knew it was bad, but he wasn't sharing it with his wife, how bad the finances were getting.
Ooh.
And he was holding that back from her. And part of the coaching was, your homework assignment this week is to go have a real conversation with your wife and let her know what's going on, because she's part of you. You're in this together. And do you get that you're not going to win in other areas of your life if you're holding that back from the person who's part of you?
Absolutely.
Right? And God can't work in your life and bless you in your life if you're doing that. So he had that aha moment. We got through his ego with that. And then he realized that he had created such a bad situation. And I'm going to segue for a second. Talking about news. He was under so much pressure and anxiety that he started YouTubing signs of anxiety, triggers and all this, right? Symptoms. And sure enough, he started watching some videos where they were describing, here's how you identify if you're having a heart attack. Well, that was the worst thing he could have put in his head, because he was already under pressure.
Right.
His wife comes home 30 minutes after watching that video. His body shuts down.
Wow.
Literally shuts down. His mind took over and created what he thought was a heart attack.
Jeez.
Breaks out in the cold sweat, palpitation, all that. He has to go to the ER, gets on EKG and everything like that. This is what it can look like.
Yes.
If you believe the crap out there, and if you're not dealing with the real thing in your life that's causing the problem.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I help my clients find. And sometimes it's business related, and many times it's not. There's a breakdown on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's showing up externally in your life, and you're trying to address the external symptoms and go, all right, let me fix this. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Because there's an internal thing that's off, and I help you get right to that. So I just want to get real about what's real.
Well, that's a good story. That's a great story, because it's like you said earlier, he's in his head, and then he put that subliminal, and that's why I think it's important to wake up every day, have your hour of power, your 15 minutes of fulfillment, like Tony Robbins called it, and just feed yourself something positive. An audio book, a positive YouTube video, or read out of the good book. Whatever you are feel like you might need in your life. You set the tone for your day every day, and you set the intention for what you want. And too many times people, they are weak about it, and they let these, I feel like I might have anxiety. They start, like you just said, they YouTube something, and then that plants the seed, and then what are they going to be focusing on?
Yes, and let me just add to that. I agree with you. Put positive stuff in, especially early in the day, and start your day off with some meditation and quiet time.
Yep.
I do my daily holy hour for that reason.
Yes.
However, some of my clients, when they come to me, they're doing those good habits, yet they're ignoring the very thing that's not working in their life because they don't want to face it. They don't want to get real about it, because once you get real, you actually have to go and do something about it.
Yeah.
And we, as humans, don't want to actually change, right?
Yep.
So going back to Kelly's point, you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to ask for help.
Yep.
You want to create those relationships around you where you give people close to you that you trust permission to call you out on a blind spot that they possibly see that you don't.
That's right.
And it's like, hey, be my support system. When you see an area of my life not working, I give you permission. Like, let me know.
Yeah.
That could be a huge game changer for your life.
Accountability.
Or you hire a coach like me.
Yeah, accountability and just having somebody, again, it's a different perspective, somebody that's been there, that's done that, that's maybe been in that situation, that's seen it happen, and just kind of recognizing, having that self examination, if you will, having that understanding of, hey, what am I good at? What do I need to improve on? And then that's where you can hire somebody to help you grow in that space.
Yes, absolutely. Because you can't be great at everything.
Right.
You just can't.
Yep.
So you got to surround yourself with good people, good friends, and coaches in your life. And one piece of advice, if you're looking to hire a coach, never hire a coach who doesn't have a coach themselves, because they don't actually believe in their own profession.
I was thinking about that. I wonder who coaches Tony Robbins. You know? Does
he has a full suite of coaches that coach
He
him.
has different coaches.
He has
That's
different
right.
coaches for the things that it is that he needs them to
That's
do.
right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you think about that. You know, different parts of your life, you know, there's different ways that you can do that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So I think just stop pretending that everything's fine in your life, because all areas of your life can't be good at the same time.
That's right.
That's what life shows up like.
That's right.
You're going to have breakdowns. Ask for help.
All right. Hey, another great show. Kelly Oliver, thanks so much for coming in. Joseph Warren, and thanks for coming in as well. JosephWarren.net. B Business Loans.
BLSfunds.com.
Funds.com. All right. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to your commute to work. Hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.